Yo, what up fam? SeemlyTuber back at it again. Alright, listen up, because I'm about to drop some knowledge that will either give you nightmares or make your wallet very, very happy. Are you tired of playing the same old predictable horror game, where the monsters are just monsters? What if I told you there's an indie scene out there crafting psychological horror so twisted, so immersive, it makes you question your own sanity? All inspired by a legendary terrifying demo that literally vanished. We're diving into that kind of dread, fam. Plus, we're talking about Frostpunk 2, hitting consoles and Game Pass, and Mind's Eye giving us a masterclass in how not to launch a game. You already know the drill. Stay till the end, cause we're breaking down all the spooky vibes, strategy wins, and devs struggling. Let's get it. First off, fam, let's talk about the OG feel. PT. Konami basically gave us a blueprint for psychological horror. They pulled it faster than a speed hacker on a good server. That demo, man, still lives rent-free in our heads. So if you're chasing that tactile dread and atmospheric craftsmanship, these indie titles are gonna be your next obsession. Vistage came out in October 2020. This game, fam, is widely regarded as the closest spiritual successor to PT. You're gonna get it. It's built around a haunted house that shifts and distorts around the player like a bad acid trip. The darkness literally drains your sanity. Environments loop unpredictably, and psychological dread is layered and immersive. For real, you'll be checking behind you in real life. Infliction. This is a tight, claustrophobic horror experience set in a maze-like home, where players feel hunted by relentless invisible force. The disorienting layout and tense atmosphere evoke PT's year-round dread. You'll be whispering, "Is it behind me?" every 5 seconds. No cap. The Park, a short 1.5 hour story-driven horror walkthrough set in a creepy amusement park. Perfect for players who prefer atmospheric tension over combat mechanics. It's like a horror movie you play without having to deal with a boss fight. Just pure, unadulterated creepiness. Duan, if I said that right. Mundaun. This one hits different, with its haunting Swiss village rendered in a unique hand-drawn art style. Mundaun explores eerie environments and puzzle solving in a gloom-riddled folk horror context. It's beautiful in its bleakness, like a disturbing fairy tale. The community is also out here dropping gems. On Reddit, games like Devotion are constantly recommended, even after its controversial removal from some platforms. It's praised for its psychological storytelling and eerie visuals. A true hidden masterpiece if you can find it. Then there's Madison, which brings a demonic camera mechanic like Fatal Frame on steroids, a large creepy house and plenty of jump scares. Some users love the tension, others note control issues. But prepare to throw your controller if you play this alone. And get ready for Ludo, a brand new title that just dropped July 2025. You're trapped in your own home, fam, and you must navigate shifting corridors filled with phobias and emotional horror. It's deeply inspired by PT in tone and structure. Your safe space becomes your nightmare. Haunted Bloodlines, from the darkness, Sweet 776, and Evil Inside also come up frequently in community discussions as underrated PT-like experiences. And if you want to broaden your horizons in psychological horror, these are undisputed heavyweights. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, first person, highly immersive psychological horror with a restrained but effective setting. It brought Resident Evil back to its scary roots, no cap. Amnesia series, especially Rebirth or The Dark Descent. Sanity mechanics, no combat, you just run and hide, fam. Dark environments and staples of PT style horror. Layers of fear, a shifting Victorian era mansion with puzzles and unraveling madness, echoing PT's uncanny house dynamics. The house is literally trying to mess with your head. Soma, not set in a house, but offers a deeply unsettling narrative in an isolated underwater facility, exploring consciousness and dread. This one's gonna make you think long after you finish it, and about what it means to be human. Alien isolation, claustrophobic stealth horror, built around the pure fear of being hunted by an unstoppable alien with virtually no defenses. This game will make you sweat more than an SBM lobby. No cap. So if you're an SBMM lobby, no cap. So if you're chasing that tactile dread and atmospheric craftsmanship of PT, indie titles like Vistage, Infliction, Devotion, and Ludo are your best bets. Broader hits like Resident Evil 7, Amnesia, Layers of Fear, and Soma further explore different angles of psychological horror. Go play these, fam. But don't blame me when you can't sleep with the lights off. Alright, fam, let's pivot from pure terror to pure strategy, like a frozen wasteland. Get ready for some good news for console players, because Frostpunk 2 is officially coming to Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Mark your calendar, September 18, 2025. That's almost exactly 1 year after its September 20th, 2024 release on PC. And here's the juice, fam. Frostpunk 2 will be available on Xbox Game Pass for console subscribers, Ultimate/Premium, on release day. That's a massive W for your wallet, no cap, because saving money on a game about surviving freezing temperatures just hits different. 11-bit Studio, the geniuses behind it, didn't just lazy port it over either. They actually refined the circular interface from the first Frostpunk console port to better suit controllers. Expect dynamic radical menus for interacting with resources and bumper button shortcuts for direct navigation. No more controller cramp trying to manage your frozen city. And for all my PC fam who like controllers, a future update will enable this new controller-friendly UI on the PC version when using a gamepad. It's a win-win. Frostpunk 2 is set 30 years after the original. You're the steward guiding New London through a post-apocalyptic volcanic winter. The focus isn't just on keeping warm, it's on city building across multiple districts and navigating competing societal factions in governance. Its macro-style narrative decisions and deeper political management, making it stand apart from its predecessor. Get ready to contend with legal frameworks, fam, not just frozen pipes. They're also dropping some collector-friendly physical editions through Skybound Games, the Icebreaker Edition, game, diorama, art book, and novel, and the Whiteout Edition. Everything in Icebreaker plus the first 3 planned DLCs, a faction patch, keychain, art cards, and stickers. And speaking of DLC, 2 major expansions, Spectrum and Aurora, are planned for 2025, with a third in 2026. So get ready to dive into the ultimate frozen city builder, fam. Alright, fam, let's go from chilling good to some seriously chilling bad news. Remember Mind's Eye, the game that dropped June 10th, 2025? Well, it's given us a masterclass in how not to launch a game and why some hype just disappears. Mind's Eye launched on PS5, Xbox X, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, and it has significantly underperformed. We're talking a Metacritic score of 43%, that's a big L, no cap. It's only hit around 500 concurrent Steam players at peak, reaching an all-time high of just 1,393. That's a rough start, fam, especially for a new title. And here's where it gets really serious. The studio Build a Rocket Boy is undergoing major layoffs, with nearly 300 employees reportedly receiving at-risk notifications. Many executives even left just before the game's release. Nothing says confidence in our product like the execs bailing before launch, right? It feels like the whole studio is in dev hell, just like we talked about with Xbox's issues. But the biggest news, the one that really got players hyped, is now dead in the water for a minute. The much anticipated Hitman Mind's Eye collaboration mission has been postponed indefinitely. It was originally set to launch in July, and would have featured Agent 47 in Red Rock City, but now no new release window has been provided. Builder Rocket Boy stated that the mission will arrive when the time is right, which is corporate speak that usually means don't hold your breath, fam. It's like Agent 47 just ghosted us. No cap. While patches are actively being deployed to stabilize the game, the future of promised post-launch content, including the Hitman crossover, remain uncertain in light of the studio's financial and reputational struggles. They warn that future patches may be less frequent moving forward. It looks like the game's post-launch strategy appears significantly weakened. It's a sad sight to see a game with big ambitions stumble so hard out of the gate. So fam, we just covered some wild stuff, from psychological horror that'll have you checking under your bed to surviving the freezing future with Frostpunk 2 on Game Pass to unfortunate launch and dev struggles of Mind's Eye. It's been a mix of pure nightmare feel, strategic brilliance, and some serious reality checks for the gaming industry. The highs are high, and the lows, well, they remind us to be grateful for the gems that we have. What are your thoughts on these stories, fam? Are you brave enough to play any of the PT-like horrors? Are you hyped for Frostpunk 2 on Game Pass? Or are you just shaking your head at Mind's Eye's launch? Hit the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Drop your scariest game experiences. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter at SeemlyTuber1 or X if you call it X now. We'll catch y'all at the next one. Stay gaming. Peace.